What is up, ACL Nation? We are less than a week and a half away from the first national of the season. It is going to be an incredible event. We are going to do a deep dive and preview that event, as well as welcome ACL Pro Tony Smith, coming off of a strong singles win in that pro special event at the National College Cornhole Championship. This is the ACL Throwdown. Tony Smith going to be on the show this week, but like I said, it is officially national preview time. My hashtag Trey's takes and some of your favorite of these throwdowns are my preview articles and my previews of these national events. You love to see who I'm honing in on as we get into this national event, and man, the talent is deeper and better than ever. It is really impossible to even try and predict who is going to finish at the top, but you know me, I'm going to try to do it anyway. This is just going to be a little bit of a teaser for you. If you want to see my full breakdown, my full deep dive into this national, you can go to iPlayACL.com, click on the news tab, and that ACL Kickoff Battle preview article right at the top there. You can read my in-depth analysis. 10,000 characters is plenty to read, so dive in and check it out. You know, we're going to cover our three main events like we always do: our women's doubles, pro singles, and pro doubles. Starting on the women's front, you know, really I want to pick out individual women I want to look for here. Obviously, players are going to be paired up in women's doubles for that event, but really I'm excited to see how individually these women compete in women's doubles as well as in the pro division as a whole, both in pro singles and pro doubles. I'm going to start with Belvin. I really think Belvin has the potential to really be the highest finishing female player this season, has the best opportunity for females within the pro division to possibly make a Final Four in either singles or doubles. Belvin gave Tony Smith, my guest this week, who won at the National College Cornhole Championship in that pro singles event, Belvin gave him his best game on the day, spotted him 10 points, but ended up closing the gap and really ended up just a 4-point victory for Tony Smith. Belvin was hot all weekend, and she's also has won an advanced level event. If we rewind a year ago at the 2020 Kickoff Battle, she wins advanced singles, so she has the talent to do it. So we'll see if she can follow through in both women's and in the pro-only events. Sarah Cassidy, coming off of a world championship in both singles and doubles, obviously ecstatic to see how she is going to perform, especially in women's, trying to defend that title with Cheyenne Renner. They're going to be a dynamic duo all season long in pro women's doubles. So I really want to see if I see that same level of consistency from Cassidy that I saw at the World Championships, as opposed to kind of the up and down performance that I may have seen at the Pro College Invitational at the NCCC at the end of the year. You can never count out Christine Papke. Now she is a member of that USA national team, winning women's singles at those championships back in October. So you know she is a top competitor anytime we talk about our women's division. I'm really excited to see the energy that she brings this year. She's got the most experience out of anybody, and really it is, you know what you're gonna get from Papke. Let's just see if she can put a full season together, kind of get over that hump and get another big victory under her belt. And finally, I got to look at Samantha, Finley, and Allison Peters. They're going to be teaming up in the pro division, but going to be playing separately in the women's division. Peters is really an up-and-coming superstar. We got to see it on display. She paired up with Auburn's Blaine Rozier in that ACL Pro College Invitational back at the NCCC, and she was lights out. The problem was on the other quarter, you had Sam Finley throwing 23 out of 24 bags. Sam Finley obviously coming into this event, even after a bag change going from Reynolds over to BG, she's shown no signs of slowing down and actually maybe even speeding up a little bit. She's doing fantastic with those new bags, and really, always got that smooth lefty delivery. I expect her to be a top contender throughout the entire season and rival Belvin as the leader of the female ACL pros. So pro singles will start. I got to start with the world champion, right? Jamie Graham finishes the season #1 in the country last year, as well as finishes out his world championship with a singles world victory. I mean, that's incredible in itself. My only concern about Jamie Graham coming into this first national is his play with the new bags. He's jumped over to fire bags, and I at least saw him a little bit at the open, struggle maybe a little bit with his consistency. They're also brand new bags, so who knows, maybe he's worked out the kinks a little bit, but obviously anytime you're talking about Jamie Graham, you got to expect a top 3 finish. Of course, winningest ACL player of all time and now an ACL Pro, Matt Guy. Matt is coming in, probably the most hype he's ever been. I'm watching him on Trick Shot Tuesday throw 4 bags in the hole at once. I'm watching him on his Facebook feed throw 95 out of 100 in and then like 38 out of 40 air mails. I mean, come on. He's ridiculous right now. He's practicing more than he ever has, and I think that's going to make a difference for him as he goes into this ACL Pro season. He certainly should be a favorite, or at least top 2 when it comes to looking at who's going to win these events. Moving on to Eric Davis, another player that's new to the ACL Pro division but has a ton of hype around him. Again, I'm worried about bag selection for Eric Davis. I haven't seen him in that ability to hit that roll shot consistently with these new bags, and for him, I think that is critical to the success of his play. If I put him in a game where he has to go bag for bag with players, I just don't think that that points towards his strengths, and I think he struggles in that type of environment. You can never count out Trey Birchfield. I personally think he may be the best player in the world right now. He is a certified robot, and anytime you put a robot on the stage, you know they're going to perform. He's take the emotion out of it. Trey Birchfield's got all of the shots alongside Derek King. They can hit every push, airmail, whatever, jump around, sneak around, get around, whatever you want to call it. He can do it. And so I look for Trey Birchfield to have a consistent start to this season. Damon Dennis, slow, methodical, gonna just wear you down, wear you down, wear you down. And he's gonna be back, he's gonna be at the top. You just know he's gonna have a consistent finish. And really, if it were for an uncharacteristic collapse against Jamie Graham back at the World Championships, he had as good a run as anybody and possibly could have finished in the top 4 at that event as well. So Damon Dennis is gonna be hungry, gonna be ready. Finally, a little bit of a sleeper pick for you here. Greg Collins out of California. Greg Collins, a new first-year ACL Pro. A lot of the East Coast guys don't really know Greg, but they should. I just talked about how I think Trey Birchfield is arguably the best player in the world right now. Well, Greg Collins has beat him twice in 2 weeks, both the National College Cornhole Championship and then a big regional event out in California. So, hey, if you're gonna take my top favorite as far as a player in the world and beat him twice in 2 weeks, you get recognition. You get to be on the ACL Throwdown for the mentions. Let's go over into doubles. I just have a few teams I want to hit on here. Obviously, Trey Birchfield and Derek King, your reigning ACL World Champions. They are absolutely going to be the favorite coming into this event, and as they should. They are electric as a team. Both of them are calm, cool, and collected, but they are deadly on the boards, and they really just have all of those have that entire arsenal of shots that they can throw, and that's what makes them so deadly on the boards. Doesn't matter if they're down 18, doesn't matter if they're down at all, they're just gonna be consistent and they're gonna be good. Probably the most hyped team in the history of Cornhole, Matt Guy and Jamie Graham, 2 of the best players in the history of the sport pairing up on the same team. Really, there's not much to talk about here. It's just, can they handle the pressure? You have 2 alpha personalities. Matt Guy has always paired up with his son, kind of been the leader of that team. Last year, we saw Jamie Graham pair up with Frank Maudlin and really act as the leader for Frank and him. And so now you kind of have these 2 big personalities on the boards coming together, and it's not going to be for a lack of skill if they ever do lose in the pro level. It's really going to be a mental aspect of it. So how will they interact on the boards? How will they work? How will that chemistry be? Only time will tell, and I know everybody is excited to see it. Matthew, Sorrells, and Noah Wooten, a team that came into the 2019-2020 season hyped as all get out. I mean, people were picking them to not lose a single game last year, and I really think that added a lot of pressure to their games, and that really kind of maybe held them back just a little bit because they were under so much pressure. This year, with Trey Birchfield and Derek King emerging as top competitors, even a Greg Geary and Jimmy Mcguffin, who we'll talk about in a minute, winning Team of the Year, and now Jamie Graham and Matt Guy pairing up for this super team, I really think that takes a lot of pressure off of Noah Wooten and Matthew Sorrells and gives them an opportunity to just play their game. And when you get those two in a relaxed setting and let them get in a groove, get Matt Sorrells talking a little bit, get Noah Wooten on that roll shot consistently, I tell you what, they could really contend for that Team of the Year prize at the end of the year. And finally, last team I wanted to cover, Greg Geary and Jimmy Mcguffin, the 2020 Team of the Year, put on an incredible performance, especially in the second half of the season. We obviously got to see them win in Phoenix. We saw them had an incredible performance both at the final chase in 4th of July weekend, but as well as the World Championships, making it all the way to the finals. They were just flat out consistent. And Greg Geary really has emerged as a doubles super player. I don't know what it is in doubles, but he plays so well. He's starting to develop that singles game a lot. And you just know you're going to get Jimmy Mcguffin hitting those airmails. So really, what it comes down to for this team is can Jimmy Mcguffin continue to hit the slide shots? Because you know he's going to hit the airmails. It's just about whether or not he can stay consistent. Make sure bag selection is key. They're not jumping left or jumping right and getting any kicks at all. But if they can stay down the center, this team is going to be deadly, and there's no reason why they can't be back to right where they were at the end of last season. Like I said, my full preview is on the website, iPlayACL.com, news tab. Check out my ACL Kickoff Battle preview. I'll dive in even deeper than I just did, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, let's get to my conversation with ACL Pro Tony Smith, see if he's got that roll shot ready to go as he prepares for his first national as an ACL Pro. What's up, ACL Nation? I have Tony Smith, ACL Pro, coming off his big win in that ACL Pro Swap singles event at the National College Cornhole Championship. One of the most hyped rookies that we have in this ACL Pro division. Tony, well, first of all, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you're a traveling man, but how are you feeling? How's the game feeling as we gear up for February?
It's feeling good. Feeling pretty confident.
Feeling pretty confident. I know you're a man of few words. You follow in the footsteps of the robot Trey Birchfield. So, but we won't grill you too hard here on the Throwdown. So, let's go back a little bit to that win in Myrtle Beach, right? It was kind of your first opportunity to compete against the pros. And so, obviously a fantastic finish. When you look back at your play, obviously you won, so you have to say you threw well. But when you look at it from a whole, how do you feel you threw across that entire day?
The only real game that I didn't feel too well at was the first game in the swap part with Tyler. I let him down big time, but other than that, it was pretty good the whole way through.
Yeah, and you've really executed that roll shot, if you will. You've become kind of, that's your signature, right? And people tell me all the time, it's like we've divided the country, right? We got the Eric Davis, he's the best. We got Tony Smith, he's the best. And then, hopefully eventually we get to see you guys kind of square off against one another, which would be really fun. But was that something that you knew right when you started playing you wanted to develop, or was it something that came accidentally part of your game? Why did you choose to make the roll shot part of your game?
Up my way, I've never seen anybody do it before. And I was learning the cut shot, just a right to left hook. And I accidentally rolled it one time. I was like, I'm going to try that again. And then I started just being able to hit it semi-consistently and just kept working on it.
Yeah, because like I said, that's a signature part of your game. And the tacky bags. I know you got to be a Reynolds Pro Advantage guy then, right? That's got to be the go-to bag.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Can't get away from him.
I can't get away from him. So obviously that's definitely a part of your game. And so, the one thing that I'm kind of interested to see, because we had a conversation at the National College Cornhole Championship, Now pros migrating over to the new bag policy, got to throw a new bag. You can still throw that pro advantage, but it's a new bag. Have you had a chance yet to break in the bags? How is the roll shot feeling not being able to throw those, I'll say, more seasoned bags that you've had in the past?
The new ones are definitely a lot faster. They feel good. I'm still working on getting a set like sticky because they're really fast. But I think once I get them worn in like outside, that they'll slow down a bit and I'll be able to do what I need to. But right now the roll shot's going a little too far. It's gonna get there. Hopefully
it'll get there. You throw them in the dirt a little bit, get them a little gringy, a little dirty. I mean, that's when they're throwing the best for you for sure. So, when you think about this national, first national, obviously a lot of people, know Wooten leads the fan club. He's a big supporter of other pros. First, it was a Ryan Windsor fan club, but now I think it's the Tony Smith fan club that he's leading. So when you look at this first national, what's the confidence level like going into it? Are you expecting to win? A little bit nervous? What's kind of your mentality?
I wouldn't say I'm expecting to win. I want to be up there. I want to get up there, but it's definitely nervous.
Yeah.
I say the Open, that Myrtle Open before the college championship, that really was an eye opener because I've never gotten nervous like that up until then, and now I'm a little shaky on it, but
yeah. Anytime you go anytime you get against those top pros, I mean, getting on that big stage, the lights over you and everything. I mean, it's overwhelming that first time, but then you kind of work your way through it. You get more experience, and before you know it, it'll become second nature. So, another aspect of it, and I think everybody heard about it when it was first got announced, but I think a lot of people forgot about it, kind of including me, but you'll be playing with Justin Stranger this year. So how did that partnership come together? Because correct me if I'm wrong, you guys don't live real close to each other. So what kind of brought you two together?
So I've known him since the Connecticut National. I think it was 2018. That's where I first met him. And I played with him a few times, not together, just against him. So we knew each other. And I was supposed to play with a dude up my way in Mass, Bill Butler. I know you know him.
Yep.
Or of him. But I messed that up. And now I'm playing with Stranger, which I think we're going to do good.
Yeah, I think you guys, a similar bag choice as well. I think it definitely benefits the two of you. And obviously, I think you're both pretty aggressive players, which I think anytime you got matchups together as partners, I think it bodes well to have similar aggression levels, if you will. So I mean, you told me you're not expecting, but want to be up there. But when you look towards your rookie season, if you will, as an ACL Pro, what would it, if you got to the end of the year, at the end of August, and looked back, what would you have to see in order to be satisfied with your first season? What's something that would meet Tony Smith's goals for Tony Smith?
I want to reach that top 10. I want to be up in that top 10. That's my goal.
Hey, well, I'll put it this way: if you can break in those pro advantages enough, I think you can get there too. So, Tony, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good luck. I know you're out traveling at a tournament right now. So, told me I was told I interrupted your cash game, so I apologize. You can go back to taking people's money, and we'll see you at that first national at the beginning of February.
Yes, sir. I'll see you. Thanks for having me.
Tony Smith is working his way up there into silent assassin status alongside Trey Birchfield. A man of few words, but definitely brings it on the boards, and can't wait to see how he performs in his first event as a rookie in this ACL Pro division. Good luck, Tony. We'll see you in just over a week. And like I said, just over a week, we have a jam-packed weekend, both the ACL Digital Network as well as ESPN broadcasts. Stay tuned onto our social media for all of those broadcast times for both our digital network covering pro singles, pro doubles, and women's doubles, as well as the finale and Super Bowl coming to ESPN2, so stay tuned for that. That is all the time that we got this week for the American Cornhole League. This has been your host, Trey Ryder. We'll see you guys next week.